before the terms New Age or world music were invented. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the amazing Pierre Bensusan to the Wild Rose Moon stage.
And rounding out our star-studded cast today is a very talented singer-songwriter from Plymouth, Indiana. She received her BA in theater from Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana, before moving to Chicago in 2006. There, she participates in the theater world as a multimedia performance artist and in the art world as a collage artist. Her performance practice weaves works of original video, music, and comedy around feminist themes to create evening-length performances that serve as razor-sharp reflections on the Midwestern millennial female experience. This December, she will debut a new performance work at the Den Theater in Chicago. Please help me welcome the new director of Wild Rose Moon Performing Arts Center, Maggie Kubley.
And now, recorded live from the Wild Rose Moon Performing Arts Center in historic downtown Plymouth, Indiana, where the Art Deco Reese Theater is now enjoying its second lifetime of excitement and inspiration for the benefit of the local and regional community. Here is the radical rascal of all things lunar, or lunatic, your radio hour host, George Stricker.
The river goes round, around the bend. The river goes round, round, round to the very end. And when it stops, woo, it starts again. It won't be long till the river goes round. It won't be long till the river goes round and round and round, my friends.
Well, thank you, Maggie, for that loony introduction. And
thank you for that.
It's
introduction.
An exciting. Yeah. So yeah.
It's fun to introduce each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never done that before.
Yeah. I'm Maggie, by the way.
Oh, I'm George.
George. Hey, nice to meet
you. You know, it's an exciting time at Wild Rose Moon.
It really is.
Because we're going to be adding new lights to our stage.
I cannot wait.
First Source Bank is helping us out with that, and if I'm correct, also. We have a lot of help built in because our wonderful friend Vera Tiani contributed our wonderful Rosie. And who exactly is Rosie anyway?
Well, Rosie is, she sits on top of my announcing booth here at the Moon, ringed with wild roses around her head, multicolored curls down her back, in a silken dress with pea green petals, and wearing a curled wool yoke. Rosie sits pensive and always ready to dispense thoughts that are, in the word of fashion designer Gianni Versace, both chic and fabulous. Her ideas spring from her hands, both of which are verdant green leaves, and which, quite mysteriously, always hold a note sharing her thoughts or the thoughts of others. Mr. Baylor, take it away.
We have a note from Rosie. This note was wrote by Rosie. It's a wonder of a note, fresh off a ferry boat. If we voted on a quote, this note we'd vote the goat. We have a note from Rosie.
And indeed, we do have a note from Rosie. It's right here in my hands, and I'll give it to our announcer, Maggie Kubley.
Let's give it up for George and all of that amazing choreography he just...
So, exactly, what does Rosie have? Does she have someone? She reads a lot.
She has been reading a lot. She's been reading Being and Nothingness by Frenchman Jean-Paul Sartre.
Oh.
Ah, yes. So here are some fine words of his. Every age has its own poetry. In every age, the circumstances of history choose a nation, a race, a class, to take up the torch by creating situations that can be expressed or transcended only through poetry.
Wow.
Yeah. He also said other pithy things like existence precedes and rules essence. What about this one? Being is in itself. Being is what it is.
Man. Wow, that is very deep.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Rosie will explain those thoughts later.
Yeah, good.
Or actually, you know what? After the show, I could probably explain it to you because, in college I did take an intro to philosophy course. So
yeah,
if you,
well, that's very interesting. Very interesting. Thank you, Maggie. John, and how are you today?
I'm great, George.
Have you
Thank for asking.
finally got a house flipped on its head?
No, it was just a week ago that you asked me.
Yeah, right. So
Still plugging
shingles
away.
down.
We're working on it. No, we keep finding more and more shingles. We got a kitchen that has a roof over the top of it, and then underneath that roof there's another roof, and it's got shingles, and then underneath that there's another roof, and they're just 3 roofs stacked on top of each other.
You're going to be able to flip that house over and over and over again.
Wow. Did you have to
Okay.
pay extra for those roofs, John?
No, nobody knew they were there.
Wow. Buy one, get 2.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are so fortunate to have Pierre Bensusan here with us today. Give it up. And Pierre, I've been listening to your music and also your influences for years. I'm a big fan of Leo Kottke and Alex DeGrassi, and your list of influences is just huge. And I think it's interesting, that you were attracted to so many different kinds of music. But my key question for you is, what made you settle on the sort of the dad-gad method?
I'm a self-taught guitarist, so no one told me how to tune. I had no idea how to tune the guitar.
But it tunes open, right?
I didn't know it was called open or whatever, I just fooled around with the mechanics and I thought, well, that's quite beautiful, that's how I'm going to play.
And so you just started playing on...
Yeah, back in when I was 14 years old, yeah.
Wow.
I'm 64 now, so it's been a while.
Oh, yeah, and lots of albums and beautiful tours all over the world.
Yeah.
It's tremendous.
I'm an accidental traveler.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm anxious to hear one of your pieces. I've been listening, of course, you have many songs on YouTube, and I've been listening to all of those, and, as I said, it reminds me of a lot of people, but it's not anybody but, just, absolutely original, wonderful work that I'm listening to. So let's hear one of those pieces.
Okay. Thank
That
you.
was great. That was
This was not one of mine.
longer ones.
It was a tune, a melody from Turkey.
Oh,
Yeah,
melody.
which
and
I've learned a long time ago from a friend.
from a friend, right?
Yeah.
So you seemingly have been influenced by players all over the world, and
Music.
and different kinds of music, right?
And there are no different kinds of music.
They're all just one,
Just one thing called music.
which has references in your new album, right?
In all my records, in fact, I'm just an observer, of the idioms that people have. So I'm very curious of how people express music, wherever they are geographically, historically, culturally. But the musicians that we are, we don't see music in styles or in genre. We see music as a form of expression, transmission, and it does incorporate a lot of things, especially today where you are aware of so many things. You can go on YouTube and it's so many information coming to you, but even before, I think a musician, as soon as you hear something, it's going to imprint, and so you are going to use it, obviously,
So do you think of it as a force?
or big time. A force, a healing, a transmission, a sort of ambassador, whatever messages you want to transmit. Yeah,
Bringing people together.
definitely, yeah. This
Yeah.
is what the word religion means, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
Bringing
bring people together. So probably music would be, in my opinion, the first religion.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's beautiful. Isn't that? Well, let's have another religious event.
All right.
Okay.
So a tune that was inspired by reading a book by this Brazilian writer, Paulo Coelho. The book is called The Alchemist. And as I was reading the book, 3 notes came to me as a soundtrack, and those notes are those one. A bit like a ring, There is a message for you. So here we go. That's how it started. It's called The Alchemist.
Pierre Bensusan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, Pierre will be here for the game show because we have lots of interesting questions that perhaps he can feed into. And up next, we have the director of Wild Rose Moon celebrating the unique energy of one particular feline. Is that correct?
We'll do it together. With support from Judith Robert and in memory of our dear friend Tom Kapasinskis, and from the generosity of the Marshall County Community Foundation and the Indiana Arts Commission, First Source Bank, Gibson Foundation, and E. Lee Marshall, you're listening to the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour.
Well, welcome back to the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour. We are here with Maggie Kubley, and you have a special song.
I do, yeah. This song is called Diva, and I wrote it about my very first cat that I owned as like myself, an adult. It wasn't in my parents' house; it was my own pet.
And her name was Diva?
And her name was Diva, and she passed away in 2020. And around that time, my friends who were the same age, they were putting down all their pets as well, honestly. Like, everybody's, unfortunately, started to go. And I had a conversation many times, kind of the same conversation, actually, of people being like, your first pet, man, that's a serious thing. And I think it's actually because I got that pet when I was probably like 24, 25.
Right.
There's no good reason that cat lived as long as it did, honestly. I, was taking care of it, kind of. I mean, I wasn't abusing the animal, but I was not the most responsible pet owner, as one might imagine, in my mid-20s. I don't know. I'm sure everyone here was very responsible in their mid-20s, but yeah, I just, you really grow attached to a cat who takes you from your mid-20s to your mid-30s. A lot happens in that time.
Yeah.
And, they really grow with you. And, you
write a song.
You write a song about them. I think probably everyone does that, right?
Process and integrate
the
experience. Well, would you share that song with us?
I would love to share it,
okay, great.
Thought you'd make it through the year. I thought you'd make it 5 more years. Then they told me you were leaving. I could not believe my burning ears. I laid down and cried for 70 whole days before you went away. I still cry on every other birthday. Hey, hey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I never thought that you'd last forever.
tried to cook you all your favorite foods. Although I was screaming, God, come down and fight me. You bastard, let's do this. Ooh, I'm ready, let's do this. Ooh. I never thought that you'd last forever. I thought you'd make it through the year. I never thought that you'd last forever. I thought you'd make it through the year. I guess I thought that you'd last forever. I thought you'd make it through the year. I never thought that you'd last forever.
Thank you.
One more hand for Maggie Kubley.
With support from Judith Robert, this is the Wild Rose Moon audience participation quiz show, Shoot the Moon.
No, let's...
Is that it?
No.
I've got that. I got how you write the song.
What have you got? What you got?
And now, ladies and gentlemen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, right?
My bad. Can we do another take? No. Wow, can we? It's going to be so embarrassing
Just roll
for me
it.
if we
Just
can't.
roll it. We didn't have anything over it, right? We're okay.
Will you guys clap again so I just feel a little...
Yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from our hometown to yours, the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour presents our very own audience participation quiz show, Shoot the Moon.
Matter to me how smart you are. Maybe you're a big buffoon. You don't need to be quick on the draw. All you gotta do is shoot the moon. Shoot the moon. Shoot the moon.
And now, here's the host of Shoot the Moon, the original colonist of little-used words and often chuffy, twisticle, and gut-foundered Gus of ribald jollification, George Schricker.
Well, thank you very much. We're here with Carolyn Powers and Elton Powers,
Hi.
and you're both retired educators. Is that correct?
We are.
And Carolyn, you have an instrument that you like to play. Am I
I
correct?
do. I started playing a ukulele not at 14. It's like maybe 66, but
Oh, 66.
it's gone really well.
It's never too late, is it, Pierre? Right. Right. Well, good. And you're uniting the world because you have a ukulele club or something.
I do.
And how many people are in the club?
Well, before COVID, 30, and after COVID, about 15.
Wow,
But
that's a lot.
they've come back, and we just love to play.
And what
So-
what kinds of things do you play?
Oh, we play 60s and 70s music. We just jam.
Well,
And
that's great.
We just sit in a circle and somebody calls out a song and we all play it and we have a good time.
Right. And Elton, you hang out with friends, it says.
I hang out with friends, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Or they hang out with me, whichever.
Right. Do you have discussions based on your public education background?
We do, quite a bit. We
Oh.
have Zoom meetings and whatnot.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. And what kinds of things do you talk about? What are your subjects?
Well, we have, in the little village of Pleasant Lake where we live, we started a new history museum. The little village has quite a background, so we put together a museum there.
Oh, how wonderful. What a great thing to do. Nice job, huh? Ukulele, you're both very, very active in your communities. Well, we have a little game here we're playing today, but first you have to have, you have passed through some gauntlets for this, all right?
You do. Prior to the show, audience members indicate their willingness to participate in Shoot the Moon by supplying an answer to this inane survey question. Are you now, or have you ever been a student of behavioral psychology?
No.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
And with that question answered in a demonstrably random manner with any number of attendant variables distinguishing the method a person might freely choose, or so they may deceptively think, in the affirmative, and as a result, be needlessly subjected to this further interrogation. Are you ready, willing, and able to gently access your remarkable, yet environmentally predetermined being in an often silly and self-deprecating manner in the futile attempt to answer a series of capricious and often ill-conceived questions?
What did she say?
You're
I'll
doing
think
great.
about it.
You're doing great. And from a collection of audience members who have learned to push a button to ask for a stimulating shock while answering in the affirmative, exactly 2 contestants are selected to play Shoot the Moon. So now, let's play Shoot the Moon!
Okay. How exciting. And with these questions, by the way, are tied in some ways biographically, either directly or indirectly, to Pierre's background. And so we have 4 categories, and they are. Bridge builder, zine cuisine, testimonials, and Parisian tussle. What would you like to start with, Carolyn?
How about zine cuisine?
Zine cuisine, and by the way, you can get help from Pierre Bensusan, so he can help you if he knows the answer. So you just have to flag her and see. Okay, here we go. Oran, Algeria, was the birthplace of Pierre Bensusan. Is that right? Okay. As a coastal city, it is popular for folk music called rai. Is that right?
That's true.
Okay, and that means opinion in Arabic, according to my notes. It had its beginning in Iran, and this genre of music was formulated by shepherds in the 1930s through Arab and European influences. This music was surrounded by controversy due to women's key role in public performances of the music, as well as the hedonistic lyrics about love and alcohol. You might think about integrating some of that in your ukulele.
Wow.
Of course, the food and cuisine in Iran is also famous. Iran is particularly famous for what gastronomic creation? Here it is. You have A, B, or C to choose. A, is it lemon sorbet? Is it B, fried grasshoppers? Or C, curried lamb?
I would tend to go with C.
I'm sorry, it's lemon sorbet. Lemon sorbet. The traditional Algerian lemon sorbet, crepon. How do you say that?
Crepon.
Crepon. Originated.
That's Italian, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But it originated in Iran. And the Algerian specialty is white-colored and served like a fluffy mountain in a cup. Okay, I'm sorry we don't have some of that for you to sample. Okay, well, I'm sorry about that, but we'll go on now and see, what would you like to choose?
Well, I have to go with testimonials. That's cute.
Testimonials, okay. Here we go. Many beautiful words have been spoken of Pierre Bensusan's performances. The following quote was spoken by whom? Who said these words? When Pierre plays, fetal position, head inside, after a moment, there is nothing else to do than close your eyes, enter in his world, and listen. Was it A, Pierce Brosnan, B, Carly Simon, or C, Adam Cord from Youngstown, Ohio, the symphony orchestra guitarist there?
Oh, I have to go with C on that one.
I'm sorry.
You missed that one too?
Yes, it was Pierce Brosnan.
I'm glad he's listening to music. That's good.
Yeah, how about that? Okay, so what is the score exactly here? How are we doing, our ukulele player? And
Carolyn's
historian?
got a great. We're starting out we're relaxed, okay? We both got 0.
Oh,
Because we
okay.
don't want to go too hard, too fast, you know?
Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
take it
Okay.
easy, guys.
All right. Well, and these are tough questions.
Yeah.
Remember, you can help, Pierre, if you.
Ask me if I can. I would be happy
Okay.
to.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, what question would you like now?
Well, let's try Parisian tussle.
Parisian tussle. Okay. Here
And
we
Pierre,
go.
I am looking at you this time. I got nothing
What,
last time.
sorry, can you repeat that question? I didn't.
Parisian tussle. Parisian
Operation
tussle.
Couple.
Tussle, like a argument, fight.
Oh, right.
Like a fight, okay. Kind of a tussle yeah. Okay, so in an interview in the newspaper L'Automne of February 14th, 1887, this gentleman gave a reply to some artist protest while neatly summing up his artistic doctrine. And here's what he said. I hold that the curvature of the monument's four outer edges, which is as mathematical calculation dictated it should be, will give a great impression of strength and beauty, for it will reveal to the eyes of the observer the boldness of the design as a whole. Likewise, the many empty spaces built into the very elements of construction will clearly display the constant concern not to submit any unnecessary surfaces to the violent action of hurricanes, which could threaten the stability of the edifice. Who said this? Was it A, Gustave Eiffel, B, Émile Noguier, or C, Stephen Sylvestre?
Anyone? A?
A is correct.
Yay! Thank you.
That's right. It's the Eiffel Tower we're talking about, or what we call the Eiffel Tower, but it's, how do you say Eiffel?
We don't say Eiffel, we say Eiffel.
Eiffel.
La Tour Eiffel.
La Tour Eiffel. Okay. I'm going to work on it. It only took 5 months to build the foundations and 21 to finish assembling the metal pieces of the tower. Considering the rudimentary means available at the period, this could be considered record speed. The assembly of the tower was a marvel of precision, as all chroniclers of the period agree. Isn't that interesting? Very, very much.
I think that's what they say about Wild Rose Moon.
Yes, about the same thing. Just about the same thing. Okay, so we've got one now.
George.
Got one. Okay.
George,
What?
can I add something?
Yes. Oh, please.
So, 5 months for the foundation, 21 months for the tower itself.
Yeah.
It was going to be just displayed for the World Exhibition.
Yes.
And it was going to be dismantled right after.
Dismantled.
Oh, yeah. Like all the buildings they created for that World Exhibition with Napoleon III and everything. And so Gustave Eiffel sort of convinced the authorities of that time to not dismantle it. He said, but, in the future, people will come from all over the world to see that tower, And so what saved the tower was, in fact, the fact that from the tower, the telegraph was just invented. And so from the very top of the tower, we could communicate with the French colonies in Africa, in Algeria, but also in Black Africa. So the army said, we need this tower to remain because we are going to need it. That's what
for
saved.
radio connection.
For radio connection, for telegraph first, and for radio connection. So it was the consideration of tourism and all the aura were not significant at that time. It became later on. And also Gustave Eiffel had to found some of his money to make this tower happen because he didn't have enough funding. So he contributed with his own money to make it happen.
Wow. So do you sometimes work as a tour guide in Paris? Because that's
no,
good work.
I know what everybody knows in Paris.
That's great. That's wonderful. That's wonderful information. Okay, and I highly recommend going. I've been there, and it's. I dreamed of going. I was telling Pierre, I dreamed of going since the time I was 5 years old to the Eiffel Tower. I always wanted to go, and then when I got there, it was off season. Michelle and I got there off season. It was just before the Christmas markets, so there weren't any tourists. It was just wonderful. It was great. So go, enjoy it. It's everything you might imagine. Okay, we have one left, don't we?
We do. Bridge builder.
Bridge builder. So let's see if you can tie the score here.
Yes, well, Carolyn's one up on me already, so.
Okay, all right, Elton.
You can do it,
we'll
Elton.
get
I have
it.
faith in you.
Okay. Cernès, one of Pierre's places of residency, is that correct?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, it says in
Let's
your
hear it.
biography.
I don't know.
Says, okay.
You don't believe everything which is written in the biography.
It lies in the Haute-de-Seine department In the what is that?
Ile.
de France, Isle de France region.
L'Île de France.
What is it?
L'Île de France.
L'Île de France region in north-central France. It is a western suburb of Paris, which lies along the Seine River. Of course, the Seine River must be crossed and crossed again to join its many neighborhoods and suburbs. Given that Don O'Mahony from the Irish Examiner has called Pierre Bensusan the bridge builder, we thought appropriate to ask just how many bridges there are that cross the Seine in Paris. Is it A, 37 bridges, B, 29 bridges, or C, 53 bridges?
Well, I've been to Paris. I didn't count the bridges.
No, most people don't.
Let's go with the high number, 57.
No, that's not 53. It is A, 37.
Ah,
Oh, I'm sorry, so sorry. 37 bridges. And the river is only about 24 meters above sea level from the mouth, and it makes it slow flowing and easily navigable. So it's an interesting river, and it's beautiful to
I agree.
to be there and to see lights reflected at night on the river, and the boats go out and the lights are on the boats, and it's just gorgeous. Anyway, so what's our score, Maggie?
All right. Well, we have Carolyn with 1 and Elton with 0.
Oh no, what does that mean?
Well, as a matter of fact, win or lose, everybody gets lucky on Shoot the Moon. Both Carolyn and Elton have won a sticker, a big Wild Rose Moon sticker, suitable for applying to one's hot air balloon, electric scooter, pruning shears, or grandmother's quilt.
Well, let's give Elton and Carolyn a big hand.
Congratulations! Everyone wins when we play Shoot the Moon.
And we'll be back with Pierre Bensusan right after this break. Take it away, Maggie.
With support from Judith Robert and in memory of our dear friend Tom Kapasinskis, E. Lee Marshall, and from the generosity of the Marshall County Community Foundation, the Indiana Arts Commission, and Marshall County Tourism, you're listening to the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour.
Well, welcome back to the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour. We're here with the extraordinary guitarist Pierre Bensusan, and I was wondering, before you play a song, if when I was in Paris, I had such a great time. Really, it was just a wonderful, wonderful place. We went to the Louvre. Practically no one was there. It was just a great time to be there. So we really enjoyed all the various sites and things. Had great food, as you are well known. Paris is well known for its great food, and enjoyed so much. But one of the things that I wanted to do was go to a very modern building, which was the UNESCO building. Do you know that building?
I do.
The very modern, it's
I do.
right downtown. Yeah. UNESCO building. And I was working on an MFA in writing, and I was writing a children's novel about, and it was sort of an adventure novel that takes place in Paris. And I had done a lot of research, and I wanted to see the UNESCO building. I wanted to be shown around the UNESCO building. But I got there about 10 minutes after the last tour had been given in the building, right? And so I just said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm writing this novel," and et cetera. And they said, "No problem." This guy just literally said, "I'll take you all around by myself." Nice. And he took me all around. And that was the experience, we had all over Paris. People sometimes from here talk about Paris being kind of tough and, they'd be they're kind of tough on you because you're not, if you don't speak the language. And
It's
things.
a big city.
Yeah, right. So, but our experience was unlike that at all.
I'm glad.
Over and over again, we had people.
I'm not surprised.
We had people that helped us in
Fantastic.
Paris. So I just wanted to say that I think Paris is a wonderful place. So play another song for us, will you, Pierre?
All right. I'm going to sing and play something. It's going to be a song, but sometimes I forget the words. So I hope it will be okay. But sometimes I remember them, you know. Para papa e paringangange da ba da ba ba da ba ba de 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 be de be dum dum de dum dum be dum do de do de dum do 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 dum do dum de do para ba be para ba de do dum ba da da ba da ma ba da do di di dum dum de dum dum do di do dum 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 do better better Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that world being of yours really comes through in your music. And
I hope so.
Oh, it does. And you have a very special guitar there. You have a lot of guitars, right?
No, I don't. I have for a long time I had only one guitar. For 25 years I had one guitar built by a friend of mine in Northern Ireland, who happens to become a very important luthier in the world of acoustic guitar. His name is George Loudon.
Right.
Who lives now in Downpatrick, which is close to Belfast.
Right. But you had I saw pictures of an older guitar.
This is exactly. So when George asked me how is my original Loudon that he built for me in 1977,
right,
he refers to it as the old lady. How is the old lady?
Yeah.
So I said to him, she's missing you. She wants to see you. He said, oh, well, bring it over.
Oh.
So sometimes with my wife, we go to Northern Ireland just for the old lady to see her daddy.
Right. That's great.
And this guitar is one of her children.
One of her children.
One of her
okay.
children.
All
Yes.
right. That must have been an interesting marriage.
It has been. We don't know who the father is, but we know who the mother is. You know, it's like it's the Jewish religion. You know.
Oh, well, it's absolutely been astounding to have you here today.
I've been so happy to be here and to discover this beautiful community, this town. You know.
You know, if you felt like it, I think we'd all appreciate maybe if you had one more song.
Let me think about it.
Okay.
All right, with pleasure.
Okay.
Sure. There is a long story to this song, but I will save your antenna and people's attention. I will just say that it's named after a town where I used to live in the south of France. And if I tell you the title, I think you will know which town I'm referring to. I think, maybe not. I will just say that Her Highness Queen Victoria loves this town. And of course, she could never pronounce the name of this town correctly. So by making this spelling mistake, she invented a new word in the English language. I will say no more. A bit more reverb on my guitar, please. Longer. This is called the Nice feeling.
The marvelous bridge builder around the world, Pierre Bensusan.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thanks to Maggie Kubley for sharing her song today about her cat, and also thanks to Carolyn and Elton Powers for doing the game show with us.
With support from Judith Robert and in the memory of our good friend, Tom Kapasinskis, and with additional support from Marshall County Community Foundation, Gibson Insurance, Gibson Foundation, the First Source Bank, and Ely Marshall, you've been listening to the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks, Maggie Kubley, Howard Gibbs, our stage manager, audio engineer Simon Hurst, photographer Matthew Bergmoser, video producer Jim Yoakum, our hospitality coordinators Jennifer Reed, Martina Sam, Pam Gunterman, and Matt Scotchfield, and also moonlight maker Jean Pazdurka. And also special thanks to our applause specialist, Michelle Schricker, for her organizing acumen and undying support of the Moon, its mission, and me. John?
George?
Tell me, do those tautly strung sinews of steel lie in wait for the tenderness of your fingertips, meaning to coax them into a musical elixir of love, containing the very mysteries of the emerging universe?
They groan in anticipation.
All right. You're welcome.
So when you think you've lost that life, oh, pain and heartache fill your soul with strife. Just remember, as you're tumbling down, it won't be long till the river goes round.
Everybody!
The river goes round, around the bend. The river goes round, round, round till the very end. And when it stops, woo, it starts again. It won't be long till the river goes round.
Pierre, would you like a break?
river goes round, around the bend. The river goes round, round, round till the very end. And when it stops, woo-hoo, it starts again. Well, it won't be long till the river goes round. It won't be long till the river goes round and round and round, my friends.
Well, I think that's a wrap, but I do, now that we're kind of closed, do we have any more? Simon says no, but we do have a little presentation. We want to give some flowers to our very generous benefactor, Judith Robert, for all her support of the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour. All these years, 6 years of support. Thank you so much.
Have known each other forever and ever. How long is it?
Oh,
since
we
you
knew.
have known Tom?
I knew him